Hello and welcome to Futures Fast Forward. I'm your host, Samuel Anthony Otero, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, food. I like to eat. I enjoy a finely crafted meal. And we found some entrepreneurs in Pennsylvania recently who have taken their love of fine food and have created a business out of making product from family recipes. They're taking different approaches to distributing their product and to making their product, completely different models, but the end result is the same. We're going to take a look at the custom foods industry today on Futures Fast Forward.
Big bag, big bag. Big bag, big bag. Big bag, big bag.
Safe.
This episode of Futures Fast Forward is brought to you by our friends at Miller Welding and Machine Company. Founded in 1963, Miller Welding and Machine Company of Brookville, Pennsylvania is a single-source solution encompassing fabrication, machining, and finishing technologies aimed to meet the wide range of needs that our customers demand. Staffed with a team of engineers and highly skilled employees, our quality and our commitment make us a leader in this industry. We provide our customers with high-quality parts by continually improving the processes we use, and we provide our employees a safe and satisfying work environment and invest in their futures by constantly investing in new technologies. Two readily accessible state-of-the-art facilities accommodate our workforce of over 300 highly skilled employees. For current news and employment opportunities, visit our website at www.millerwelding.com.
This is Rob. He's a good kid. He's got big dreams.
Come on, Mom. I'll be back by 11. Don't worry.
But he's got a few problems.
Safe!
He's clumsy. I don't know why this boy wastes his time with this stuff. And his mom, she has a few problems of her own. But Rob is testament to the fact that anyone, and I mean anyone, can achieve their dreams, despite these kids' problems. Welcome to FuturesFastForward.com. I'm executive producer Samuel Anthony Otero, coming to you from the studios of the IT Academy in Reynoldsville, Pennsylvania. What is Futures Fast Forward all about? It's about you. It's about making informed career choices. It's about making a passionate decision about how you are going to spend the rest of your life. You got to get out of bed in the morning. You got to make money. You got to provide for yourself in this world. And what Futures is about is helping young people and their parents be informed about all of the wonderful career choices that are available and at their disposal here in Pennsylvania. We hope that you keep involved with the show. Email us. Let us know what you think about what we're doing. Get involved. If you have an idea for a show, contact us. If you want to tell Shane that you like his new haircut, send him an email. That'll make his day too. In the meantime, cruise the site. Check it out. Have fun. Get involved. And we hope that we see you again here at FuturesFastForward.com. How many of us have an aunt or an uncle, or maybe even you? Somebody within your family who just makes the most killer spaghetti sauce. Or maybe they have a jelly or jam recipe that everybody just says, man, you gotta market this thing and make some money from this. Well, there are people right here in PA that are doing just that. Stick around for this episode of Futures Fast Forward as we take a look at Herlockers Mustard and Carriage House Creations. So as we're going to see, these are different business models and different products and different applications of the love for fine food. But the bottom line is, successful family-run businesses based right here in Pennsylvania. We're here at Carriage House Creations with Louise Christopher, and you are the founder of the company?
Yes.
You know, one of the things that has amazed me
about your little operation here, and I say that not to be pejorative, but literally, you're a small operation.
Oh, yeah.
This is quite a contrast from where we went down to Herlockers, focusing on one product, getting it mass-produced in a big factory, and shipping it to grocery stores all around the country. You, on the other hand, are manufacturing your own product right here in this quaint little restored historic property in Reynoldsville, Pennsylvania, and you have a huge line of products that you're making. Don't be a wuss.
This stuff is awesome.
Don't be a wuss, Anthony. Now, how many peppers are in a batch of this here?
6 cups. Shh, don't give away our recipes.
Wow! Tell us how you got started, and did you start out with the vision of creating a whole product line, a variety of products, or did it grow as one product took off?
My product line is mine. We had this carriage house that was literally falling down. Oh, no. We were sitting on our back steps one evening having a glass of wine and decided we have to do something with the carriage house. Why don't we put a business in it?
Okay.
And we decided to call ourselves Carriage House Creations because this is a carriage house. It was built in the 1870s when the house was built. That's how we started.
Always exciting and different. My father was always starting different businesses. In fact, how he started in the restaurant business was kind of an accident at best also. My father had finished school at Penn State and was going to go into aerial photography because he's learning how to fly. When my grandfather, who used to be in the restaurant business, bought out a restaurant at an auction, called him up and said, how would you like to be in the chicken barbecue business? That led to Herlockers Restaurant, which he opened up a few years later. Then that led to the train station restaurant. And then he opened up a larger train station restaurant, which seated about 250 people, and the bar sat the same amount of people. And we used to give away mustard and pretzels in the bar. And that's how our mustard business started, more as a side hobby than really, let's go into the mustard business.
So as we know with any business, maintaining quality is key to your success. If your quality's up and down, one person tries something, they're not crazy about it, they tell a friend, your whole product line could go to bust very quickly. When your product hits the shelf, it needs to taste the same as it did the previous time that the customer tried it. Pretty simple notion, pretty complex endeavor. Depending on the size of your business, there can be a wide variety of systems put into place to keep quality control. Whether you're creating thousands of jars of product off an assembly line at a big factory, or you're creating one-off small batches of custom jars of jams and jellies, you gotta maintain quality control. You have to have a system in place to make sure that the product tastes the same each time that you issue it. If the quality's not there, the customer isn't gonna come back. It's that simple. Quality's the name of the game. People like it, customers like it, they keep buying, it keeps your business expanding. Quality control, how do you maintain that? We're gonna go inside and take a quick look.
This is a printer. It prints on what it is, the day it was made, what kettle it come out of.
12 jars packed and ready to rock and roll.
The code numbers, what part of the batch it was made in.
This is Julie. She's dressing. Each jar gets labeled, the top of the lid gets labeled with our seal, with our address, and phone number, our name, and then our date. We identify it by batch number on top of the jar, and we put the fabric on it and label it.
Now, you're working with relatively small quantities here. I was expecting, even though you do have a small kitchen, I was expecting
something major.
Yeah, to see larger stock pots and you know.
No.
Why is it?
Because sometimes I've tried increasing the recipes to a larger size, and they don't sell. And we have to add something to the point where they could be actually rubbery and stiff. That's not the taste we want.
Right, so
that's
it just
not the
blows
consistency we want.
You get a phone call from somebody in Estes Park, Colorado. They say, man, this stuff just does not taste like it did last month. How do you jump on that?
We first asked them to take the lid of the jar and read the code numbers on that jar, and it's a code that tells us what kettle it was produced out of and at what time during the kettle the jar was filled. So then we walk down to our storage room, find the matching code on the jar, open the jar, and taste it. Well, during production, what they do is they take jars off the line for every kettle. About every 5 minutes, they pull a jar, and then they test it here for viscosity, solids, pH, and they have a chart where they chart all this throughout the production.
That's out of the first batch. It's the first sample we took off the line for the first batch.
Today?
Yes.
Okay.
And what we'll do to get a pH reading is just stick that in there, and then our pH reading will come up on there. This is a Bostwick consistometer, and what we do here is check the viscosity of the mustard. So what we'll do...
The thickness, in other words. Right, okay.
Right. So we'll pour some of the sample into this area, level it off, and then what we do is we let it run for 30 seconds, and that gives us an idea of how thick the product is.
Look at that, we're off to the races. Now what are we doing here?
We're going to check the solids of the product.
The solids of the product? What do you mean? Put that in.
What the soluble solids are.
He just wishes he was on camera.
It takes a while because there's a lot of
well, what are we doing here? What do you mean by the soluble solids?
It's basically the ratio of solids to liquid in the product.
So it's just common sense. Maintaining high quality is one of the keys to success in any business. You gotta have a good product or people aren't gonna come back and buy it again. Dude, the line's... Look, man, I haven't done this in 20 years, all right? Ease up. I don't know what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
What is that?
It's mustard, guys. Come on. Act like you've never seen anything like it before.
Dude, it says dipping mustard.
Well, if you want to be technical with me, God.
Now's the fun part of the job. Tasting the end product. Ultimately, taste testing is the true quality control measure.
This is the raspberry margarita. Christmas spice. This is wonderful with cream cheese or with a cheese ball. I make my own cheese ball, and we do sell that in here at the shop.
What's the verdict?
Holidays.
Delicious.
Look at Cassie. That's dedication. Holding the camera with one hand and a finely crafted
Banana strawberry smoothie.
How was that Christmas spice jam there?
This is even
Ryan
with chicken.
and Anthony, you can take the hairnets off now. What about me? I mean, don't I get the try? I'll take two of everything.
Do you want me to hold the camera for you?
I think I can manage.
If Cassie can do it, you
now
can.
this is the margarita.
This is the margarita. This is my #1 seller.
Ooh.
And
this is the ultimate test because I am finicky.
I started making margaritas because I was at a show for Mother's Day and had mimosa, which is champagne and orange.
I knew there was something about you two that just...
Jefferson County, Pennsylvania is open for business with excellent tax-free building sites, a talented and experienced workforce, and business services specialized for your development needs. Jefferson County Department of Economic Development is ready to help you and your company grow and prosper. Join other prosperous companies such as Miller Welding and Brookville Equipment that have made Jefferson County their home. For more information, contact the Jefferson County Department of Development. the hottest product that you have?
No, the
Okay.
hot bourbon basting is probably hotter.
It's very good.
And your face isn't turning red yet?
No, it's not.
No, it's not that hot.
I can handle
My taste shouldn't be painful.
I think
Oh, don't be a wuss.
This stuff is awesome.
Don't be a wuss, Anthony.
Do I see just a little bit of sweat?
No, no sweat at all.
This has a neat color.
No sweat,
Red
just
pepper. I could drink that whole jar.
that flavor is really sticking to your tongue. It's really good.
You know, I can look at you. You're like,
You
Okay, it may seem common sense. You're good at what you do, you have a recipe, and maybe you have a nice kitchen and you get certified and you figure I can crank stuff out of my house and make a decent living. Well, the fact of the matter is, it's a lot of work. In order to generate the money that you need to sustain yourself and really make a thriving business, you're gonna need help.
It's an old family recipe. My grandfather had restaurants in Lock Haven, and they made it at time to time to serve with roast beef or different things, sort of a family tradition. And it's a Pennsylvania Dutch recipe. And my father sort of tinkered with it and made it a little hotter and spicier to increase the bar crowd to drink more beer and more mixed drinks.
I used to go and visit the train station restaurant in State College and enjoy the mustard there that he put in the little home canning jars. And when he came to me about making the product, I said, well, number one, I love the product. Number two, I don't know if we can make mustard. We're not used to making a yellow product that I think of today. We're making out here today. We're making spaghetti sauce, but it became apparent that Chuck had a lot of persistence at that point, number one, and we started making the mustard, and we spent a lot of nights here dumping eggs and mixing mustard flours and all the things that go into the Herlocker product to try to achieve the quality product that Chuck had achieved at making it.
The point is it's taken care of for you. You didn't have to go out and invest and buy a factory.
Right, we buy the eggs, and we buy the ingredients, and we make sure that we inventory all the products so we know when we have to make it. But bottom line is, when we need to make it, it's done.
Yeah.
You know, they start at midnight and they end at 9.
12 jars packed and ready to rock and roll. Now where are these headed?
These are actually going back to our office for UPSing the customers who can't find it in their local area.
It's going somewhere from Del Grosso's to a store near you.
How much manpower does it take to operate a facility like this?
We have about 35 people work here. A couple people
In the entire plant?
Yes.
Really?
Well, now, let's talk about your business here. How many people is this business sustaining? How many folks do you have working here part-time or full-time?
My daughter Ginger, who's chief cook full-time. Julie, who is part-time, but from now until mid-December will be almost full-time. Myself, my husband, he works full-time out of here for right now, but he is available on weekends.
So once you make your product, you got your team into place, another key factor that's going to decide success or failure is your marketing and your distribution plan. How do you get your product out there? Once you get it out there, how do you get people to notice it? Whether you're doing it locally, throughout the country, or worldwide, you gotta have a plan and you gotta know how to enact it. Likewise, how you present that product and how you present that image to the public is also integral. As we found out with Herlocker's Mustard, they're creating one product, but marketing it through exclusive licensing agreements and a number of different exclusive markets.
We had a restaurant that had 250 employees. So we had an office staff that ran the payroll, the accounting, the bookkeeping. It was a pretty big operation. So we were lucky that when we first started, we didn't have any overhead for the mustard company. Our first big account was Penn Traffic. We went up, visited, they actually called us. My father went up, visited with Penn Traffic, showed him the mustard. The guy loved it. He said, I'll take a pallet. So we had our first pallet order. My father came back to the office. The buyer was already on the phone calling him up. My father said, he's going to cancel the order. I don't know what he's going to call up and say. The guy got on the phone and said, Chuck, I forgot to ask you, how much does your product cost? So because we started small, now we're selling to one chain. You don't have a lot of overhead and expenses, It's small. It's billing. The billing's simple. We farm out we find people of expertise to help us do what we need to do. For example, we couldn't make large quantities of mustard in our restaurant, so we came here to Del Grosso Foods, and they had facilities to do that for us.
How do you continue to find new markets?
That's always a challenge. We try to do trade shows. Not too many trade shows because the cost is very prohibitive.
The bulk of your business is coming from trade shows.
Yes.
Really? So you go to a show in Harrisburg. I saw a school.
Pennsylvania gift show.
Right. Okay. How much product are you going to move in a weekend down there? Something here.
Over 1,000 jars, 1,200 jars.
So we may pick. There's a national. We sell our product. We sell our product in the deli departments of grocery stores.
We did not want to be in supermarkets. That's not my goal, because my line of product is a specialty product, and it's not going to sit next to Smucker's, Welch's, or even Dickinson's on the shelf. That's not where I want it. We don't mass produce. We make small batches, so we retain that small homemade batch taste.
Sure, that's the whole image you're trying to portray.
So we go to deli shows. So we'll do the national show once every 3 years. So we're sort of the new kid on the block, so to speak. People will come by and show interest. If you tend to do the shows every year, people walk by, oh, I saw that last year, and they don't really care to stop and talk. So we always get a few leads at trade shows. We get a lot of business from people who love our product, who've moved to other chains, where a chain will be bought out by a bigger conglomerate. That person will move up and buy for maybe 3 chains instead of 1.
1,000 jars? Over 1,200 jars. Yeah.
That's a lot of product.
Well, this is where we put it into a tray pack. This is called a NOR-pack machine. What it does, it comes down the conveyor with the labels on, the lid labels. Right here, it separates it into 12 jars to go into a case. And then it'll move on down the line. It keeps separating 12.
Yeah, that's why. Did you see that big van?
Yeah.
You pulled in when you came in? Okay, that is full.
Wow.
That machine will take 1 layer at a time. It'll go across this conveyor up here and go down through the wall over there into the filling room. And then it'll go through the rinser and down into the filler. Then it'll come out the wall, and you'll see it coming out the conveyor here. It goes across here, and it goes into this cooling tunnel over here. It takes like 25 minutes to run down through that cooling tunnel. The trays we use, what it does, put them in here, it'll shoot 1 in there for every case you're going to do. You hear that sound? That's a tray going in there.
We'll pull out the basket, decide what we're going to put in it. She starts putting in, building the basket. I make the bows. I love to make bows. And she does an excellent job at wrapping.
So as we know, being in business is a lot of hard work. But you don't just have to work hard, you do have to know what you're doing. Let's find out a little bit more from the owner of Carriage House Creations about their history and what it takes to keep their business rolling. Well, we went down to Del Grosso Foods. We went down to Del Grosso Foods and saw how custom mustard was made, mass manufactured. Now, up here in this commercial kitchen, much smaller scale operation, as you said, very different. You guys are working fast. You have product that needs to be created to certain specifications. A lot of your products are going to set within a certain amount of time. You got to move, get this stuff packaged up out the door. Now, for somebody like yourself, you're the primary cook here. How much product are you going to crank out in an average day?
It's nothing for me to put out around 400 jars.
Of whatever it is that you're...
Of whatever. Yeah, usually, like today, I'm doing wing sauce. I'm doing Italian tomato jam. I'm doing Christmas spice jam. Christmas spice jam is what's going to take the majority of the day.
We've always sold our product on pretty much taste alone. You know, we have a very slim advertising budget. You know, very even slimmer marketing budget. So people to try our mustard generally love it. And they'll buy it, they'll give it to their friends will give it to their friends. So it's sort of a slow growth model of business. And for us, it's been very successful. Because when you are doing marketing and advertising, you don't know what's working and what's not working. You don't really know why people are buying your product. So we stuck with what's always worked for us. We do a lot of sampling in the stores.
We have a taste that we want, and then I've tasted it here first.
When you envisioned it?
Yeah. My husband says going to bed with me is like going to bed with Horseshack in the middle of the night. He hears, ooh, 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 and he never knows a cramp on my leg or a new idea. But if it's a new idea, I'm up and writing it down on a piece of paper.
Well, let me ask you this. There's viewers out there looking at this show and they're saying, man, I can do this. I got a great product. I really believe that I have something that people want. Every year, give it away for Christmas, and people are always asking for more. What advice can you give to a budding entrepreneur, maybe a family that wants to create their own family business? What kind of advice would you give?
Research.
Give me some specifics.
Oh, know what your regulations are, know what you can do, know what your parameters are, pHs.
For pH for product, you mean?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Every batch that we do, we have to have a pH for.
For regulation?
For regulation.
Really?
Do new ideas still come to you? I mean, do you lay in bed at night, counting mustard jars?
Yeah, new ideas.
Fall asleep and something goes, bing, and there you go. You got a whole new industry that you're.
I think new thoughts are always coming and going. I mean, now it's maybe more different types of real estate. As you sort of get in a vein, there's all kinds of things to explore in that area. So it always changes. And what's nice about having different businesses in our type of family is not all of them are making money all the time.
Right.
Some may not.
Diversity of income.
Right.
streams.
So if one goes down, one has a bad year, the other two are doing well. So it always varies for you.
Futures Fast Forward is sponsored in part by United Electric Cooperative. United Electric is special because it's owned by its members and is guided by a set of principles that reflect the best interest of those members. United Electric Cooperative members reside within 10 counties in PA, and the cooperative operates an electrical system that spans 7,000 square miles while employing 72 local people. United Electric Cooperative, owned by those we serve. Visit our website for updated job opportunities.
So as you can see, opportunity abounds in the custom food industry. It might take you years to get up off the ground, lots of hard work, but it is possible. So if you have a passion for cooking and you have a different angle and a unique recipe and you know how to market your product, you just might want to explore this as a career option. For Futures Fast Forward, looking at the custom food industry, I'm Samuel Anthony Otero. It's time for lunch.
I like the pepper one better.
Really?
Yeah.
Spice guy.
Taste it.
Spice guy, yeah.
No, I detect something.
That's what she was making upstairs. She hadn't gotten.
There is a pepper in it.
Yeah, there's red bell pepper.
Yeah, you get
cranberries and Christmas spice.
I think that there's no adjective that can describe how good that was.